Oluwole, a lawyer of his sort. Said by this time, to Jina Honwede, what did Ghana for say? Say, Kenya, banks, Maku, and Sui, Saba Sina, Yedisikama Omo, Bank of Ghana, Disika, as you show me nasi. Mameka say, Saba Sina, we depositors Nisika, as I said, Bank of Ghana, Sika, this and the mom, so moving so much and more Hobran, and we did. Now, Oluwole,
93.9.
Yeah, I make call intimacy. Most of them in respect to Omo. Ijari, I said, I make a joke. Meaning of woman gun and penny for pizza. Seriously. Oh, come on. Oh, and Nipa won't see that Nipa one person. You see, when your conscience is not seared, and you have a clear conscience of reasoning, let's just say Nipa no, what do you do? Because I can't really understand for once that what is the Oluwole can sit on radio. Now with me catch the Ghana for now say, Mamonya did we shouldn't blame these bank officials for the fact that Sikai Raida CCC. Is he trying to join the bench wagon or bunch of criminals in this country? Is he part of the criminal gangs? Now we shall be Kaya. Oluwole, and you're the first American Samu. This Oluwole guy, you're one of the lawyers. Who make I say, investigations on Agwesibuache or say Ghana High Chief Executive in the story. So that's Oluwole in the of Facebook. And in Samuni and Wodi, Oluwole. These are the kind of lawyers of Muguma Wimua. They will do everything to protect the corporate interests of some companies, regardless of Boni or Moody. Yes. And today the other will say the corporate ladder, the banks, any other state institutions, the corporate agencies, the banks, other companies, there was also investigations there. They actually were Ascent Financial. Lawyer be no was so much. I pray you investigators are the my friend is saying. Imani for your motive in refinity. Kofi Benson, he has the gut, that effrontery. No wonder other Catholic journalists say, who can investigate Ascent Financial for what? When Ascent Financial, Mika says, we want to see Ghana for millions and billions. We want to reach our capital. Ascent Financial, one of the company, actually one of the banks, a collapse. Yes. Ascent Financial for Mr. Meboa. We contribute to Ascent Financial. Mofa text messages in Fenda. Namokasa Meboa. They are sitting on millions and billions of Ghana for Ascent Financial. Lawyer Ben was show my same this answer phone on confidential. He calls himself a lawyer of repute. We know when we are not contractors, some multimedia networks, no more Ghana. This human being, William and Oluwole, this bunch of William, so more when we are men of integrity. They call themselves men of integrity. And anything a Ghana do with the when you have these men, conscience. When my conscience is feared, they don't think about you. No way. A bunch of group of mafias and cartels and cabals, conspirators. No minus no more. And to what they also assembly the back court. I have a court. Omeka to the court. Who could do court on a judge or a member of the syndicate? Crow will be drew. Tinana make catch me was there. And Joe, you may be forced to join one of the group, depends on which flip side of it you belong to. Maybe a crony druid. I recommend the antidote. Meaning, another year, Jumadia. Afiyemra report, Mr. Amalgamate the fallout of Amalgamated Bank, now Bank of Africa. And read the part 1 of the report, Ebai. Part 2 of the report in Inye. Afiyem Koswe. Mr. Ajomale inflated the construction cost. Mr. Oluwole Ajomale inflated the cost the construction cost by almost 1 billion Ghana cedis. To investigate this allegation, one needed to compare Excel's quotation with another competitor. In the absence of a competitive bid, we adopted the unit cost comparative approach and also reviewed the contractor's unit rate with current rates in the construction today.
Hot FM 93.9.
The unit cost comparative approach for buildings uses either the cost floor area or cost volume or cost bed. The most appropriate to use in this case is the cost floor area, since cost volume method applies to warehouses and the cost bed applies to hotels and hospitals. Construction cost per floor area for Tamale was comparable to those of Mamobi, Ashiaman branches, which had similar scope of works. The comparative positions are as follows. 1. Branch, Omukusisi branch, Mamobi development cost, ASN 1,833,249,184. Odeba Ashiamana, and Odeba cost floor near 525,135. Then Oba Ashiamana so acquire 980 million. Then the floor area 246. Cost floor 478,983. Then Tamale 2,877,500. Floor area 505,600. And then cost floor 513,839. Accra Central 500 million cost floor floor area 1,530. Then Odeba Accra New Town 900 million and development cost too. Then Odeba floor area and then 5,680 cost floor 158,450. Also, unit rates reviewed were comparable to industry rates. Structural works at Accra Central and Newtown were minimal, hence the low cost per floor area. The assertion that construction costs had been inflated by 1 billion could not be substantiated.
Hot FM 93.9.
Unique interest in transfers. That there was undue interest in transfers and payments without due process to third parties from Nigeria to connection with art paintings and pieces acquired by the bank. That another payment was made by the bank to a UK-based company suspected to be operated by Mr. Oluwole Ajomale's wife for a contract to supply diaries to the company. Crab House Ventures Limited, KHVL, a company registered in Nigeria, submitted a quotation in the sum of 205 billion for the supply of various art pieces on 7th of December 2006. On the same day, 7th of December 2006, approval was given by the managing director for the payment of saying 50 million cash on account to one Mr. Andrew Omagbite in corporation or so, MD for KHVL, whilst the expenditure involved in the contract was within the MD's discretionary limit. The payment of parts of the contract money due to a corporate body across the counter to an individual was inappropriate.
Hot FM 93.9.
Furthermore, the balance of 103,750,000 after a discount was transferred by SWIFT to the account of Crab House Ventures on 22nd of April 2007 at Citibank, NA, New York, at the US equivalent of 11,196.25. Exchange rate as was USD1. 935,000 without the necessary documentation in violation of the guidelines of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723.
Port FM 93.9.
Thus, the authorization of payment meant for a corporate body to an individual and also the transfer without documentation of US dollars in a contract awarded in cedis when no such condition was stated in the purchase order supports the allegation that the MD had undue interest in transfers. On the issue of the supply of diaries, Mr. Ajomale's wife, Mr. Ajomale denied ever contracting his wife to supply diaries to Amal Bank. Training scam. That there was training scam which Amalgamated Bank organized for its staff by a two-man Nigerian team which cost the bank 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. Evidence available indicated that 2 training programs were organized by IBFC Augusto, a consultancy firm from Nigeria. Each program cost 30,000 US dollars, excluding accommodation, feeding and transport. However, Amal Bank could not produce the following document when requested for 1. Initial proposal from IBFC Augusto to ascertain whether Amal was responsible for accommodation and feeding. Amal Bank paid for accommodation and feeding. 2. Contract documents on the training. 3. Evidence of payment for the first program. Thus, 2 training sessions took place, but the allegation that 1.5 billion Ghana cedis on was spent could not be verified, since Amal could not produce all relevant documents.
Port FM 93.9.
MD's personal involvement in procurement. That contracts for supplies were under Mr. Ajomale's personal directions and invariably go to businesses run by Nigerians who do not pay taxes and in some cases non-residents. He usually threatens the Ghanaian suppliers to the bank. A Ghanaian proprietor of Risk Enterprise, a printing firm, lost his life under such threat.
Port FM 93.9.
Mr. Ajomale's personal involvement in some procurement by the bank was very evident. He personally received the quotation of Excel Management Service for Tamale Branch Office refurbishment and personally directed the request of quotation from Koshian for the supply of cash exchange tickets. The Managing Director's minutes of 22nd of February 2007 on a memo from the Corporate Affairs Department testifies to this Appendix 1. He gave the order for the award of contract to Koshian before the quotation from Koshian was submitted on 9th of April 2007.
Port FM 93.9.
Out of the 38 contract examined, 6 were found to have been awarded to Nigerian companies. One could therefore not conclude that contracts awarded invariably went to businesses run by Nigerians. A link between Mr. Ajomale's purported threat to Ghanaian businessmen and the death of the proprietor of Risk Enterprise could not be established.
Port FM 93.9.
Development of new website. Mr. Oluwole Ajomale awarded a contract for the development of a new website for the bank to his personal friend for a contract sum of $70,000 US. Amal Bank awarded a contract for the development of a website to Asilon, Ghana for an amount of $12,000 US and not $70,000 US on 9th of October 2006. The confirmation of order letter was not cited as it could not be produced by Amal Bank. To date, Amal Bank has paid $7,200 to Asylum. Investigations conducted revealed that the day-to-day implementation of the work was done by ITSI Limited of Nigeria, with one Mr. Oglode as the contact person. Effort to establish any formal contractual relationship between Asylum Ghana Limited and ITSI proved futile.
Port FM 93.9.
The allegation that Mr. Ajomale awarded a contract for the development of a new website for the bank to his personal friend for a contract sum of $70,000 could not be established. There appears to be obvious problems with the contract for the website. That the lack of documentation differences in terms of the official contractor and the performer of the contract. Dental clinic. That Boala Dental Clinic, owned by a Nigerian, has replaced a Ghanaian-owned dental clinic as the official bank clinic. The first bill for 6 members of staff was $120 million, and the managing director has further approved $3.5 billion loan to this new clinic.
Port FM 93.9.
The actual name is Beaver Clinic. Beaver Clinic, owned and operated by Dr. Ilugu, a Nigerian. Open an account number 001-104114 on 3rd of October 2006 with an initial deposit of 500,000 Ghana cedis. A deposit of 5,936,500 was made on 22nd of April 2007 with a closing balance of 6,407,500 on 22nd of April 2007. On 2nd of April 2007, a loan of 3.5 billion was approved by the board subcommittee for the purpose of property number 11 Dampta Road, Airport Residential Area, owned jointly by Mr. and Mrs. Van Dyke. The amount was disbursed on 13th of April 2007. The purchase price was paid to only Mrs. Van Dyke without any authorization from Mr. Van Dyke, with explanation that he was disposed. For a jointly owned property of such a magnitude in value, failure to obtain a power of attorney before payment is unacceptable. The loan payment is 137,314,984 monthly. The loan is currently being serviced and is on schedule. There was evidence that the bank had contracted Beaver Clinic for their dental service. The first bill was 78,528,900, not 120 million cedis as alleged. Further, the loan of 3.5 billion was evident and approved by the board subcommittee.
Port FM 93.9.
Syncop. That Syncop, another Nigerian-owned company, is currently in discussions with the MD to contract signage costing 300 million Ghana cedis. We did not find any evidence that a contract was made award this company for the construction of signage. Illegal Nigerian appointees. That about 5 Nigerians were appointed as consultants by the managing director Ajomale without the board's approval. The consultants have replaced the substantive Ghanaian heads of certain key operational departments, including domestic operations, corporation, bank credits, control, IT, and internal control, and they do not have residence nor work permits. That their salaries and other benefits paid to the Nigerian consultants are in dollars and at a very high cost to the bank. Currently, there are 6 Nigerian members of staff employed as consultants from Oceanic Bank. They also hold key positions at the bank as indicated below.
Port FM 93.9.
Mr. O.O. Dada, is the head of corporations. He holds a BSc Hons Economics from University of Lagos, obtained in 1990. Mr. Dada has since worked with the banking industry. He was appointed on the 10th of March 2007. No, 10th of April, on a salary of $6,835 per month and a weekly allowance of $2,200 per week. Allowance in Kodikofia.
Port FM 93.9.
The salary is $6,800 and something. Okay, Lukman Mohammed Adi Tunji holds a BS accountancy from University of Maiduguri, 2000, and preparing for his part 3 of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. Nigerian icon. He is the Business Development Manager Branch Manager at Michelle Camp. He was appointed to this position on 13th of April 2007 and on a salary of $328,000 per month and a weekly allowance of $2,000 per week. Sunday John Ogumoyi. He holds BS Accountancy 2000 from University of Lagos and MBA from Obafemi Awolowo University, Lelfi, something. He is preparing for his part 3 of ICANN. He works with the credit department as a credit officer. He is on a salary of $2,700,000 per month and weekly allowance of 2,000 Ghana cedis.
Port FM 93.9.
Yakubu Razak Adimola. Mr. Adimola is the head of control, internal audit. He holds BS MBA 1994-1997 from the University of Lagos, an associate chartered accountant, an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Management. For the past 12 years, has worked in the internal control department of various banks in Nigeria. He was appointed on the 15th of May 2007 and on a salary of $4,185,000 per month and 2,000 Ghana cedis weekly allowance. Theodore Akpofori Otadafiria. He is the Business Development Manager, Branch Manager at Accra, Newtown. He holds the BS Accounts 1997 from University of Port Harcourt and MS Economics 2005 from the University of Lagos and qualified as an associate member of the Nigerian Institute of Chartered Accountants in May 2002. He has 6 years working experience in the banking industry. He is on a salary of $328,000 and 2,000 Ghana cedis weekly allowance. He was engaged on the 13th of April 2007.
Port FM 93.9.
Another horrifying name here. Augustine Chikuwimika Ahido. Mr. Ahido works with the IT department as a consultant. He holds BSc Math and Computer Science 1996 from University of Port Harcourt and an MSc Computer Science 2000 from the University of Lagos. He is on what? He is on MD trips. That the managing director, Mr. Oluwole Ajomale, spends a better part of each week traveling to Nigeria and neglecting the bank's businesses. The investigations confirmed that the managing director traveled 12 times to Nigeria between July and December 2006 for weekends and at times returned during working days of the following week. From January 2007 to 11 June 2007, the managing director traveled 17 times to Nigeria. The consultant also shuttled between Nigeria and Ghana at the expense of the bank.
Port FM 93.9.
An examination of the bank's travel expenses account, however, did not provide details of the expenses. Therefore, one could not determine whether the trips were official or not. 35 minutes after the hour.